Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining this call from. Uh, as part of our continuing efforts by this vertical of trade and commerce at NITI Aayog, Government of India, we are delighted to welcome all of you to join this very important discussion meeting in which we are going to learn about a lot of different data sets that can be useful for trade policy research and analytics. So this is part of our continuing efforts to boost capacity in trade policy research and analytics, particularly in policy and research academic circles in India, but also in industry and also in the other parts of the world, because this particular webinar is going to be recorded and also posted on YouTube, NITI Aayog's YouTube channel, so that whoever is interested in learning these topics can benefit from it. So this has been the norm for most of the training and capacity building programs that we have been holding on trade policy research and analytics in the recent past, and this is another great addition to that series. So when we think about trade policy, we think about a lot of different types of data sets, exports, imports, at bilateral level, from country A to country B, at a very detailed sectoral level or commodity level. We also think about tariffs, custom duties, and we also think about various aspects that can affect bilateral trade. We also think about foreign direct investment, and so on and so forth, non-tariff barriers, and so on and so forth. So if there is one intellectual organization or think tank or research institute which pretty much touches all these topics and develops data sets, tools, models, methods to understand all these different aspects of trade, that is CEPI in Paris. So which literally means a center for research and education in the areas of global economy, various aspects of global economy. So this center is very renowned in this area, and it has been serving the world for several years in this area. We are really delighted and fortunate to have a great team member of this center, Dr. Hussein Gimbard, who also happens to be my long-time friend and collaborator in research. We published some papers together and did a lot of work together in the past. When I was working at Purdue University, we used to do a lot of collaborations. So I'm delighted to welcome you, Dr. Gimbard, to explain some of these data sets that are developed by CEPI. Of course, CEPI does a lot more kind of offerings than just data sets. Of course, data sets are really useful, and we all can benefit a lot from it, and develop our own analysis and research based on that. But CEPI also does its own modeling, so its own models, that it develops, and a wide range of research tools and research methods and research papers that are developed by CEPI. So the focus of this webinar is going to be just on the data sets that CEPI produces, if I understand correctly, and Dr. Gimbard can explain more. Just to give a brief introduction about Dr. Gimbard, Dr. Hussein Gimbard is an economist. He has a PhD in economics from University of Paris, and has a lot of publications, and even more importantly citations, because the work that he has done, for example, in terms of FDA or in terms of tariffs, MacMap data set and so on, FDA, and so on. These are quite well cited by a lot of researchers across the world. And the GTAP database, Global Trade Analysis Project, at Purdue University, where I used to lead the development of dataset. Dr. Gimbard used to contribute a lot of data to GTAP. Particularly the tariff dataset, the custom duties dataset, and also the other aspects like FDA and so on. And also the trade data set that is developed by him and other team members at CEPI is called BASI. It's a very unique data set which reconciles the various differences that are observed in the trade data that is reported by exporter and importer for the same trade flow for the same commodity. So these kind of reconciliations are done there, and that data is quite rich and quite rigorously done data set, which can be used for analysis. So Dr. Gimbard has been behind a lot of these contributions. He has developed many of them, and also he has an active research agenda. One of the papers that we wrote together was on the tariff concessions. So how do we factor in the tariff concessions that are made by the countries even before the free trade agreement negotiations happen? So many times these concessions are ignored. So we actually quantified that, and we published that in a journal a few years ago. So it was amazing working with Dr. Gimbard then. And now I'm very happy to welcome him, although albeit virtually and in a pre-recorded way. I'm looking forward to hearing from him, and I'm sure everyone will benefit a lot in this webinar. And I also request the participants to be very interactive and ask a lot of questions and have good discussions during this. Over to you, Dr. Gimbard. Thank you very much for joining again. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you. And my team member Vishnu Das Gupta will take over from here for coordination and moderating. Thank you so much again.